Peace. This is Mike God, Master I See God, Cypher Divine, also known as Michael Muhammad. I just want to build on something right quick. Why I self-identify as a Muslim God. I know a lot of people don't agree with that reality. Think it's an oxymoron, but it's not. It's not an oxymoron, especially oxymoron is like sweet and sour, right? Oxymoron, sweet and sour, not Muslim God. As Muslim God is a oxymoron. But to each his own. Why do I self-identify as a Muslim God? What is a Muslim? If a Muslim is one who submits his will to do the will of Allah, God, right? The submitting of one's will to do the will of Allah, and we as a collective whole, as black people, are all Allah, then there is a universal reality that makes us all Allah. That reality, that universal reality, or that universal manifestation of Allah, we have to submit to that to be Allah's. Submitting one will to Allah means, to me, now I'm building based off me, the submitting of the will to Allah is, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, every time you look at a black man, meaning woman, male and female, you're looking at Allah, you're looking at God. If my brother can teach me something that benefits me, why wouldn't I submit to his will and desire to want to teach and educate me and help me to grow and be better, right? When I came into a knowledge of self in 1985, I was a prison guard at Fort Leavenworth in Kansas City. In the military in 1985, God from Medina, Brooklyn, New York, started teaching me. Now, I could have looked at that from a standpoint of, here's an inmate trying to teach me. But what I did, I submitted. I submitted my will to his will, his desire to teach. Who? Me. Teach me what? A knowledge of myself. But if I wouldn't have submitted my will to do the will of that Allah, that God, then I wouldn't have got no knowledge of self. So, yes, according to that definition of Muslim, I'm a Muslim. But yet, my nature, according to the teachings of Master Farah Muhammad, who we all submit our will to do that will of Master Farah Muhammad. Why? Because he presented a knowledge. And in order for us to get that knowledge, we had to submit to rules and regulation and instructions in order to get that knowledge that Master Farah Muhammad brought. Now, who is the original man? Man doesn't speak just to the male. Man speaks to male and female. The original man, we also say mind. Man means mind, right? The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. We are God by nature. Even in our lack of knowledge, our brothers and sisters who lack knowledge, who doesn't have a knowledge of self, who hasn't accepted their own and being their self, still God. They're just God living other than self. So if we have brothers who are in the Moorish Science Temple, they're gods. They're just gods who are in the Moorish Science Temple. We have brothers who are Hebrew Israelites, but they're still God. They're just gods who are identified as Hebrew Israelites. We have brothers who are in the New Black Panther Party or the Black Panther Party who are gods, but they're just gods that are in the Black Panther Party. We have those in the church. They say they're Christians. They're gods. They're just gods who are Christians, right? So you have those of us who are Muslims. We are gods, yet we are Muslim gods. See, me, I self-identifying as God, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that God means possessor of force and power. If God means one who's a possessor of force and power, then my ability to apply that force and power in my life and my cipher to help me grow and develop, why would somebody else have a problem with that? The only people that has a problem with how another person self-identify, say that again, the only people who have a problem with how somebody self-identify are people who want those people to follow and submit to their will and their desire. To my understanding, according to all that I've heard from those who attack the ones who self-identify as Muslim gods, they all say they're not religious. They all say they don't follow no man. They all say they don't have a leader. But yet, they want to lead. They want somebody to follow what they got to say and submit to their thinking and their reality, which is hypocrisy, which is a contradiction of who they want you to believe they are. Why is it that you have those who feel that they can tell you who you supposed to be, how you supposed to identify who you are? The teaching is to gain a knowledge of yourself. So if it's for me to gain a knowledge of myself, right? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us through Master Farad Muhammad, and for me, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in this day and time, that the word Muslim also means a righteous person or one of peace. Now, in our lessons, what many call the 1 to 36, which is from the supreme wisdom of Master Farad Muhammad and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, English lesson C number 1, the question is asked, what is his own self? His own self is a righteous Muslim. If you have the 1 to 36 or English lesson C number 1, and and it tells you his own self is other than a righteous Muslim, and those lessons, and that lesson, then you have a lesson that something has been taken away from and something else has been added in to replace it. And so in many cases, if that's done, it has been diluted and tampered with from the original. But in it, it says his own self is a righteous Muslim. Now, this righteous Muslim is the same one that is in the answer of what is the population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America. The population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America is 17 million, with the 2 million Indians making it 19 million. All over the planet Earth, 4,400,000,000. Those 17 million black men are the ones who, as well as the 2 million Indians, are the ones that answer the question is, what is his own self? His own self is a righteous Muslim, yet his own self is God. If his own self is a righteous Muslim and his nature is God, would not he be a Muslim in God? So what is wrong with identifying or self-identifying as Muslim God? If I self-identify as a Muslim God and you disagree with it, that doesn't mean I'm wrong. That means you just disagree with it. Whatever you identify yourself, right? Whatever you call yourself, that is on you as a man, as a God, to do that. Why would you have a problem with others who choose to self-identify unless you want them to follow you and your way of thinking, your ideology? When you get online and do videos and you attack those who self-identify, it tells the world and shows the world more who you are or are not than it do who we say we are. What is his own self? His own self is a righteous Muslim. What is his nature? As Rakim say, God by nature. Mind raised in Asia. We God by nature. We righteous Muslims by our behavior and the way we walk, the way we talk, and the way we teach, because we have a duty. Yo, this is Mike God, Master I Say God, Cypher Divine, also known as Micah Muhammad. Peace.